we are graphing linear quadratic systems. So what that means is on each graph, there's going to be a straight line, and then there's going to be a curve, which is a quadratic. We're going to figure out where the solutions are for each system. Remember, a system is something with two or more equations, and we see where they intersect. Okay, so the first one here, I have these two. I want to see where they intersect. I just put a dot at both those points. Just a flashback here. Last semester when we solved linear systems, we had something like this. Two lines, and we'd find their answer. Say it was 2, 2. In this example now that we're doing in this chapter, since there's a curved line, it could intersect 2 times. So we're going to have possibly 2 answers, okay? Because we don't just have 2 lines anymore. All right, so my first answer up here, I go right 5, up 7. So I have 5, 7. My second one is 1, -1. All right, then my next one here, I make my dots at my intersections. I should have 0, 2, and what, 3, 5? Nice. Okay, so that's pretty easy looking at graphs and deciding where the solutions are. Now at the bottom, we'll actually have to graph them. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is graph my quadratic. To graph your quadratic, you always need to start with opposite of b over 2a. So I have -6 over 2 times 1, so that should be -3. I'm going to put that in the middle of my table. I'll subtract 1 more, add 1 more. Okay, so I need to plug all of these numbers into the equation to find my number that goes with it, my y value. So I have -5 squared plus 6 parentheses -5 plus 9. I'm just plugging in my x value, which is that left number on the table. Okay, so I would pause the video right now, plug your numbers in, and then check and see if your table is matching what I have. All right, so you should have 4, 1, 0, 1, 4. Okay, let's graph that. So left 5 up 4, left 4 up 1. There we go. Okay, so if you notice, there's a lot of empty space up here. I could probably fill in another dot. So when this happens, you're going to add another point at the bottom and top of your table. So we just want it to fill up the graph as much as possible so we can make sure we, have the nicest solutions in case that line was up here. We don't know where it's going to be yet, so may as well do it now. All right, so when I plug in 0, I get 9, and that matches with -6. Okay, so -6, 9, and 0, 9. Now, my quadratic covers, a lot of the graph. Okay, so I'm actually going to redraw my curve. So this is when you want to be really precise and go exactly through the dots you're drawing. All right, you'll see in a minute here. Okay, next one I'm doing my line. So it's y equals mx plus b. That's where I begin with my y-intercept. So on my y-axis, I go and find 3, put a dot there. Now my slope is the number in front of x. So this is 1, but I'm going to write it over 1 as well. So since it's positive, I go up, and I'm going right because this is positive. So remember, the top number is either up or down. The second number is left or right. Okay, so up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1. Keep making all these dots. Oh, there's an intersection. I'm going to circle that. There's another intersection. Circle it. Okay, so now I'm going to draw my line through. You can see why I circled it, because there's a lot going on here. Yeah, it's kind of hard to read. So now with the circles, it's easier to see where I have my points. Okay, so let me put a different color here. So my two solutions should be -2, 1, and what's that? -3, 0. Okay. So now we want to check and see if they actually work. So I'm going to check in my linear equation. So my linear equation's right here. So I have y equals x plus 3. So my first x value is -2, and that y value that goes with it is 1. So we're saying, does 1 equal 1? Yep, the left side equals the right side. All right, I'll try my next one. My y value is 0, and my x value is -3. So 0 equals 0. That also works. Okay. Very nice. All right, let's go to the back side. Okay, we're going to do one more on our backside here. So let's do number 2. Okay, so let's start off with our quadratic graph, opposite of b over 2a. All right, so I have -2 over 2 times -1. All right, so -2 over -2 is a positive 1. Put that in the middle. Leave yourself plenty of space in case you need to add extra points in the bottom and top here. All right, so I'm going to add 1 more, subtract 1 more. Okay, so now I'm going to plug these numbers in. Again, I would pause and check to see if your table matches. Just a reminder, you need the negative sign, then the parenthesis, then the 3 squared, plus 2, parentheses 3, plus 10. Some of us got a little stuck on this part, on our last test. Okay, let me erase that. All right, so go ahead and find your table of values. All right, so you should have 11 here, and then 10, and then I should have 7 and 7. Okay, I had questions about this earlier. Someone said, oh, can I put the negatives up here and the positives down here? Yeah, that's fine. It doesn't matter. No big deal. Okay, so let's graph these. So I have 1, 11. Oh, geez, that's off the graph. 0, 10, 2, 10, 3, 7, -1, 7, and oh gosh, we have lots of points that are lots of room for more points. Okay, so we are going to add a couple to our table. Honestly, I think we should add at least 2 for starters. Okay, so I'm going to add 4 and 5, and -2 and -3. Okay, so go ahead and pause again. Plug in those numbers to see if you get the same numbers I have. All right, you should have 2 and -5. Okay, so I have 4, 2, and 5, -5. Okay, and then I have -2, 2, -3, -5. All right, now we have to carefully make our curve. That's probably as crazy as it can get. So that's a good sign. All right, so that's my curve. Now I'm going to graph my linear equation. So I'm going to begin at 4. So I'll put my y-intercept there. My slope again is 1 over 1. So I'm going up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. Oh, there we go. Bullseye, up 1 over 1. And then down 1, left 1, down 1, left 1. Bullseye. Okay. So some of you are thinking, do I have to extend my table? Do I have to put more numbers? Well, yeah, we had to. Otherwise, you wouldn't have gotten your answers in this one. Okay. So my answer here is what? 3, 7. And this guy here is -2, 2. All right. We're going to quick plug into our linear equation. So my first pair of values, 7 is my y. So 7 equals 7. Perfect. The second pair, I have 2 is my y value. -2 is my x value. Oh, good. 2 equals 2. The left side also equals the right side. Great. Okay, so that's it for this section. You're just plotting your quadratic and linear equations and seeing where they intersect to find as many as 2 points that are possible. All right, nice job.